Dear child, the house is quieter now, but your thoughts are not. You have been lying there with old years stacked on your chest, as if every mistake, every missed chance, every hard season has returned tonight to ask what you will do with the life that remains. Dear heart, you are tired in a way sleep alone has not been able to touch. Not only physically, you are tired of carrying regret, tired of replaying where things turned, tired of wondering whether too much time has already been lost. Part of you thinks, if I had changed sooner my life would look different. Part of you thinks, maybe I have waited too long. Part of you fears that 10 years of habit, silence, fear, or self-betrayal have become stronger than your ability to begin again. Beloved, come close. Tonight is not important because I want to frighten you with pressure. Tonight matters because something in you is finally ready to be honest, and honesty is more powerful than years of pretending. Precious one, I am not measuring these moments the way you do. You measure by duration, by how long the pattern lasted, how many times you repeated it, how many years went by while you stayed stuck. I measure by turning, by the moment a heart stops defending what is harming it, by the moment a weary soul says, I do not want to keep living this way, by the moment truth is welcomed in, even with trembling hands. My child, 1 hour of honesty can redirect more than years of avoidance. One real surrender can interrupt a whole decade of inner division. One clear decision can become the hinge on which many future days quietly turn. That is why this night matters. Loved one, you have spent so much time trying to manage the symptoms without facing the root. Working harder, numbing more, staying busy, staying distracted, telling yourself that eventually something would shift without your full attention. But deep things rarely change through accident. They change when truth is finally allowed to sit in the room without being argued with. Sweet soul, perhaps the truth is this. You are more tired than you admit. You are more lonely than you let others see. You are more afraid than your strong face suggests. You have been carrying a habit, a relationship, a compromise, a hidden ache, or a silent grief for so long that it has begun to feel like part of your identity. That is why change feels impossible. When something has lived with you for years, it starts to sound like your own voice. Dear heart, but not everything familiar belongs. Not everything long-standing is meant to remain. Some things stayed because they were unchallenged. Some patterns deepened because pain went unspoken. Some compromises survived because your heart was too tired to resist them clearly. Do not confuse duration with destiny. Beloved, I know how the past tries to speak tonight. It says, this is who you are. It says, you have always been this way. It says, if change were real, it would have happened by now. It says, you missed your window. No, dear one, those are old echoes, not final truth. Precious one, tonight is not about erasing the past. It is about stopping the past from continuing to script your future without resistance. That is different. You do not need to relive 10 years to be free from them. You do not need to fix every chapter tonight. You do not need to become a new person before morning. But you may need to stop agreeing with what has kept you bound. My dear one, that agreement may have sounded like this. This is just how I cope. This relationship is as good as it gets. I can carry this alone. It is too late to change direction now. I do not deserve better. Maybe numb is easier. These quiet agreements shape a life. Not all at once. Slowly, silently, until a person forgets they once dreamed of another way. Loved one, I am speaking tonight because you are remembering. Not perfectly, not dramatically, but truly. Something in you is waking up enough to feel the cost of staying the same. That awakening is holy. It is tender. And yes, it matters deeply. Beloved, there comes a night when a person stops romanticizing delay, stops making peace with their own diminishment, stops waiting for a better season to start telling the truth. This may be that kind of night for you. Not because everything must be solved now, but because your heart is no longer fully willing to lie to itself. Sweet Sweet soul, that kind of honesty changes things. It changes how you pray. It changes how you rest. It changes what you tolerate. It changes the kind of love you will accept. It changes what you call normal. It changes the quiet sentences you say to yourself when no one else is listening. That is why a single night can outweigh many years. Because years can pass while a soul sleeps, and one night of waking can begin to alter everything that follows. Dear heart, do not be frightened by the weight of this. I am not asking for a grand performance. I am inviting a real turning, a real naming, a real willingness to stop protecting what has been hurting you, a real openness to do differently what you have always done automatically. This is not about pressure. It is about readiness. My child, you have looked back so often that the past has started to feel larger than the present, larger than your choices, larger than grace, larger than possibility. But the past, for all its influence, cannot choose tonight. Only you can answer what truth is asking of you now. That is where your dignity returns. Beloved, one reason this moment matters is because you are seeing what the years have cost. Not to shame yourself, to clarify what matters. You are seeing how much energy went into surviving, how much love went into the wrong places, how much of your voice was traded away for false peace, how often your own needs were pushed aside, how many nights you told yourself you would deal with it later. This grief is real. Let it be real. Precious one, grief and change often stand close together. You grieve what happened. You grieve what did not happen. You grieve who you were when you were trying only to endure. And in that grief, something new can quietly begin. Not because pain is magical, but because truth opens the ground. My dear one, it may help you to know that I am not impressed by how long you stayed in a pattern. I am moved by sincerity, by the moment you stop rehearsing excuses, by the moment you stop blaming only others, by the moment you say this part is mine to face. That kind of ownership is never small. It is the beginning of freedom becoming possible. Dear one, if tonight brings tears, do not rush to wipe them away as though they are weakness. Sometimes tears are the thawing of what has been frozen. Sometimes they are the body way of admitting what the mouth has delayed for years. Sometimes they are the first sign that numbness is loosening. That is not failure. That is life returning. Beloved, the change that begins tonight may be hidden. It may look like one sentence spoken honestly, one boundary admitted inwardly, one confession that you need help, one decision to stop feeding what has kept you stuck, one gentle refusal to keep abandoning yourself, one quiet prayer that is finally real. Do not despise small beginnings. A bridge is crossed one step at a time, and a life changes direction much the same way. Dear heart, you have feared that because it took so long, your efforts now will hardly matter. But time is not the only measure of consequence. Alignment matters. A small, honest shift can have more power than years of divided living. A clean decision can release energy that has been trapped in fear, ambivalence, and secrecy. A surrendered heart can begin healing from places that logic alone never reached. This is why tonight matters. Precious one, you do not need to prove anything to me. You do not need to create a dramatic moment to make this count. You do not need to despise your past to move differently now. You only need to agree with truth, to stop running from what you already know, to stop treating your own soul as if it can wait forever for your honesty. Beloved, there may still be consequences from the last years. Patterns leave marks. Choices ripple. Delays create weight. I will not flatter you by saying otherwise, but consequence is not the same as condemnation, and a late turning is still a turning. A delayed yes still matters. A weary beginning still begins. Sweet soul, do not let the thought it should have happened sooner steal the courage for what can happen now. That thought may contain some truth, but it is a poor master. It cannot guide you forward. It only kneels you down before regret. Stand up from there, dear one, not in pride, in honesty. My child, if this night is the one where you finally stop calling bondage normal, that matters. If this is the one where you admit you cannot carry the secret alone, that matters. If this is the one where you stop blaming everyone else for what you now know you must face in yourself, that matters. If this is the one where you choose life over familiar ruin, that matters profoundly. Loved one, and if all you have tonight is a whisper of willingness, bring that. If all you have is exhaustion and one true sentence, bring that. If all you have is the ability to say, I do not want to keep hiding, bring that. I can do much with honesty, far more than you can do with 10 more years of avoidance. Beloved, perhaps you have believed that change needs ideal conditions, more energy, more confidence, more certainty, more support. Sometimes those things help, but often, real turning begins in the middle of weariness, in the middle of consequences, in the middle of grief, in the middle of finally seeing what the last years have done to you, and choosing, with trembling, that they will not have the same authority anymore. Dear heart, tonight may not look important to anyone else. No one may witness it. No one may applaud it. No one may know that something inside you reached a threshold and quietly crossed. But heaven measures differently than public attention does. The hidden decision matters. The inward surrender matters. The private honesty matters. My dear one, after tonight life may still be life. Morning may still bring ordinary tasks. There may still be pain to sort through, repairs to make, conversations to have, help to seek, patterns to interrupt more than once. Do not be discouraged by that. A turning point does not erase process. It gives process a new direction. Loved one, that is enough, more than enough for one night. Beloved, I want you to stop speaking about yourself as though the last decade gets the final word. It does not. What happened matters. What was lost matters. What was endured matters. But what you do with truth now also matters. Perhaps more than you have dared believe. Dear heart, so come into stillness with honesty, not performance, not self-hatred, not panic, just truth. Let the old justifications grow quiet. Let the excuses lose their grip. Let the deeper longing for a cleaner life have a voice. And as the night deepens, as your mind grows quieter, rest in this. You are not trapped inside the past. This moment has real weight. This turning is seen. This honesty is precious. I am with you in this tender crossing. And when morning comes, I will still be here, steady beside you, while the life you choose tonight begins to unfold. Amen. Beloved family, we are grateful to continue sharing messages of faith and encouragement with you. This ministry moves forward through prayer, dedication, and your support. If you feel led to support this mission, the support link is available in the description and in the comment box below. May God's favor rest upon you and your family.